professional practice. As students, we gain knowledge and skills in the classroom, but the true challenge often lies in applying them effectively in the workplace. This panel brings together distinguished speakers who will share their experiences, insights, and guidance on how we can prepare ourselves for that transitions, overcome challenges, and build successful careers. I am Sai Hasini, and I have the honor of moderating today's discussion. Today, we will explore how to transform opportunities into achievements, education into employability. Before we begin, I want to ask an icebreaker question wherein everyone can participate and keep your answers brief. The question is, if you could give your college going self one piece of advice about preparing for a career, what would it be? Okay, I now
I
repeat the
would
question.
definitely suggest that instead of looking at a very close circle or a closed loop of what to concentrate on and everything, really step out and look at what's happening in the industry. So what field or what technologies are are being advanced and where they can easily get a job and actually secure a much better career as well. So that is more gonna be aligned with being a street smart when it comes to securing a job and at the same time having a good career. So I would definitely suggest that uh, looking out the door is always good when somebody is in school or university, going through the studies, so they can really prepare what's coming across.
Yes, thank you for that. And now let me introduce to our distinguished panelists. Our first panelist, Miss Anindita Mookerjee Sinha, is a senior leader at Ernst and Young, driving client communications, transformation, engagement, and strategy for global capability centers. With a strong background in business communication, stakeholder engagement, and strategy, she shaped how organizations bridge cultural and communication gaps across geographies. Her expertise lies in aligning business objectives with effective communication strategies, making her a strong voice for career readiness in a globalized workplace. Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, good evening, everyone. And first of all, thank you so much for this opportunity and to make me part of this evening.
Thank, thank you, ma'am, for joining. Our next panelist is Mr. Vinodkumar Surasani. He's a master software engineer at RBC Wealth Management in Minneapolis, USA, with extensive experience in software development, architecture, and global technology teams. He contributes to building robust solutions in the financial services sector. Having himself transitioned from India to an international career, he brings valuable insights into both the technical and cultural skills required for success in global tech environments. Good evening, sir.
Thank you for inviting me here. Definitely excited to be part of this discussion.
Thank you for joining us today. Next, we have Miss Preeti Ahuja, is the Chief People Officer at Husk Power Systems, where she leads global HR strategy across India, Africa, and Southeast Asia. We now have Ms. Garima Pandey, is a global HR leader with over 2 decades of experience across India, GCC, APAC, Europe, and the US. As an HR director and trusted advisor to executives and boards, she specializes in HR strategy, talent acquisition, and workforce transformation. A certified leadership coach and NLP master practitioner, Ms. Garima has delivered over 100 workshops worldwide on leadership, DEI, and soft skills, making her a strong advocate for preparing students for the corporate world. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Thanks for having me. It's I will looking forward to interact with students and with the esteemed panelists. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for joining us today. And next we have Ms. P. Sahiti Reddy. She is a data and analytics professional currently working at the University of Sydney, Australia. She holds a double master's degree in information technology and management, has co-authored research papers in her field. Having secured offers from leading companies like EPAM, TCS, and Publicis Sapient, she chose higher studies abroad, embracing cultural and professional transitions. She is passionate about mentoring students and guiding them in bridging the gap between academia and industry. Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Hasani. How are you today? Uh, yeah, thanks for having me in the panel today. Yeah, looking forward.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
And next we have Dr. Aditi Singh. She's an assistant college lecturer in computer science at Cleveland State University, USC. She holds an MS and PhD from Kent State University and has over 30 publications in AI, LLMs, and generative AI. A 2025 Women in AI Awards North America finalist for AI Researcher of the Year. She also chairs the ACMW Cleveland chapter. With her research and teaching, she is shaping the next generation of technologists and bridging the gap between academic knowledge and industry applications. Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Hi everyone, happy to be here and looking forward for this incredible discussion.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you so much for all the panelists for joining here today. So, to begin with the session, I now ask Ms. Anindita Mookerjee, ma'am, the very first question. How can students develop strong communication skills to thrive in global companies like EY?
Okay, so I hope I'm audible, visible both.
Yes, ma'am. All good.
Great, great. So, see, it is not about a particular company, whether it's national, regional level, but I think for every sphere of life in your career, communication is the most intrinsic and essential subject or aspect which someone should develop in their life, whether it's personal or professional. Because communication is something which we don't realize, but we start with the moment we wake up in the morning, we open our eyes till the time we go to bed. We wake up, we communicate with ourselves, with the Almighty, go out of the room, maybe with our family members, then go out maybe with the person who's whether it's a driver or auto person, and then receive the reach the college, interact with your faculties, your your fellow students, and then come back home, friends, relatives, whoever. Just imagine a day sometimes when you feel that it has not really been a good day. Maybe if you think back, you would realize that somewhere some tuffle happened, some miscommunication happened, some disagreement happened. Maybe that could have been avoided, or maybe you had put forth your views, but maybe not in the right way. So irrespective of where you work or what you do, communication is essential. And as you students now, you in very soon you're going to land up in a professional in your professional journey, whether it is your entrepreneurship in a venture, or in a or academics, or a corporate. Communication is very essential. We always say that the art of communication is the language of leadership, and I'm sure that everyone, you have a dream to be a leader, a team leader, or lead a project, or lead a venture someday or the other. So it is very essential. It is not really about how fluent you can speak your language. I'll take it English here because that is something which is more or less universal, and it is more accepted and it is expected that you would speak very good English. A point in time in your career comes, or in your day-to-day working, where the grammar is not important, but the content is important. What you speak, you have to master your subject. You have to know that what you speak has a meaning, and it has a positive effect on your company or the work you do. So it is whether it is global partners you need to deal with. We feel very ashamed about not being able to speak English properly. But a couple of days back, I had interaction with a French company. They were all speaking broken English and they were very confident about it. But the the content, the narrative is very important, that you need to master. Even if you can speak fluent English, but your narrative is very weak, your content is weak, and what you speak has no meaning, then the entire effort is futile. It doesn't really matter whether your English is very fluent. However, it is always advisable to master spoken English, because it for ease of working and being more accepted. So always remember, when you speak, communication is a blend of art and science. Okay, it is creative and it is strategic. So you have to handle both the art and science part of it, both the creative part of it and the strategic part of it. More strategic, because what you speak, the tonality, what it comes when you're speaking to someone, you cannot speak the same way to your peers or in your professional world the way you speak at home. You are much relaxed, let your hair down, and you don't have to think about the repercussion. The language, the brevity, the choice of words which I mean, you have to be very very culture conscious when you speak. You have to be apolitical. You cannot hurt someone's feelings by speaking anything which is not, it hurts their religion or something which can create a controversy. You have to avoid all that. So especially when you are working in a global company, you have to keep in mind the sensitivity of all the cross culture communication, what you do, the culture of that organization. Every company comes with a certain values, belief, values, mission, goals, and of course culture. You have to respect that culture, you have to adhere to the culture, and also you have to every parent, they give a good upbringing to the students, I'm sorry, the children. Okay, so always remember, your personal development has a great manifestation on your professional world, in your professional development. So keep that in mind. So personally also, you have to be little conscious while speaking, which at times can when maybe in a state where you're not very conscious or very alert, the tonality changes you thinking to be very personal. In fact, not only your tone or your language or your words, but your body language. Of course, it's a different subject altogether, kinesics, and how you your facial expression is, your movement of your hands, movement of your body. You have to keep all this in mind, especially in the corporate world, and you have to realize, especially people who are moving from campus to career, that you have so far a very comfortable cloak, very comfortable, the ecosystem around, and maybe you were excused as a student, but you would not be when you're stepping into a professional world or a level higher. So those things you have to keep in mind. You have to be culturally conscious. You have to be very apolitical, as I already said, that nowhere you anyway disturb the person's, sentiment, even not with your language, but with your frowning, with your expression, with your maybe a shrug which is not required, which shows very casual, or I'm not very interested to listen to you. When you're speaking, many people you would find they don't look at your eyes. They would fiddle with something of their phone or something. These are very disrespectful. So the last point, of course, I'll speak in the later of questions. You have to be very respectful when you're communicating. If some communication which comes to you, you don't like this, similarly, you cannot uh, go by that mode where when you're speaking professionally. It has to be very crisp, clear, clarity should be there, inclusiveness should be there. Of course, it's a vast subject. Maybe later part I'll describe something more.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for your valuable things to share. Anyone else want to add more?
I would just add what Anindita has said. Basically, that all are engineering students. So tech skills are basically which will get you that communication skills are something which help you to get promoted to serve the corporate ladder. So that is one crisp point which I want to add. Basically, let's say you have made a model, okay, but it's your communication skill which will actually help other people to understand what you have made. If you can understand a non-techie what you have made out of the project, that's where your communication lies, and that's the winning point. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for adding on. Before we proceed into further questions, I kindly request all the panelists to keep the responses in brief so that we can hear from each of the six speakers within our limited time. Moving on, Mr. Vinod, what technical skills are most in demand for students aspiring to enter software engineering?
So, particularly when it comes to software engineering, there is, I mean, for someone who are trying to get into the industry, it's a wide range of options are available to start with. If you are, trying to take a step back and really looking at, what exactly you are interested in. But there are certain technologies that are uh, playing a key role on any domain or any technology suite that you are trying to get in. So I would definitely suggest that getting into those kind of technology is going to be more beneficiary. So as an example, if you are talking about a programmer, not all organizations may need a full load of programmers, but only small team members and something like that. But when it comes to data science or artificial intelligence or machine learning scientists, these kind of roles are playing a big role for any organization success in recent years. And obviously, these technologies are here to stay. And getting first hands on these technologies right after graduating, or I would say, like, before graduating also, I would definitely suggest anyone to go through a ton of material that is already available. There are very good trainings available in Coursera as well if you are really looking at data science, AML, and neural network and all these technologies. So getting a job is going to be a lot easier for them, and the options are going to be much more rather than a very narrow or restricted. So I would definitely suggest that getting into data science, deep learning, LLM, AI, trying to be a ML engineer, neural network. So these are very, very good technologies that are doing pretty good out in the industry, and gonna see much more success as well in any given organizations. So this is what I would definitely suggest to upcoming students. And I am interacting with few other universities here in US, and I observed that universities are proactively launching very new courses and content to upskill all students on all these latest technology. I was looking at one of the university that I'm trying to closely do more work with. they just recently launched a program called AI Miner. So to build a bridge between very common technologies from data science, being a data analyst and everything, and they opened this course to all available students. So there are universities who are taking proactive steps as well. So students can be ready with what's coming across the horizon and can secure a better job and be successful in their professional career.
Thank you, sir. That is really helpful, especially for those preparing to step into the software field. I would like to hear what other panelists think of this point. Okay, moving on, we have our one more panelist, Mr. Sharad Chandra, is the AVP and head of the HR at Jeevan Scientific Technology Limited, Hyderabad, with over 25 years of experience in human capital leadership across biotech and technology sectors. He specializes in talent acquisition, employee engagement, and building future-ready workforces. At JSTL, he is driving HR strategies that align people development with organizational growth, ensuring strategies that align with people development and transition effectively from campus to career. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Yeah, good evening.
Yes, sir. So, Mr. Sharad Chandra, what common skill gaps do you notice for fresh graduates entering biotech and tech-driven industries?
The common skill gaps, what I generally see with majorly, I was in campus recruitments and lateral hiring. So, uh, being in pharma industry, major skill sets, what we generally see is the streams are MPharms and MScs. And they are technically very good, but the soft skills, what we found generally are very not up to the mark. So, and the language skills also, they are very poor. So communication, we are a big gap what we generally see in the campus new hiring process. And they are academically very good. The technicals, technically they are very sound, but communication wise what we saw is slightly less. So there we generally do we have their training sessions, and we have boot camps and all. So where we generally train them on the soft skills, so that, because pharma is more on audits. We have international audits like FDAs and all, where any auditor comes and speaks to these people. Suddenly they should not be language barrier, or they should not face that um, they should be able to speak it quite nicely to the auditors, because uh, there the talent hiring and the talent concept will come. So there we generally tune our most of the campus hires in a better manner, so that they speak are, and also the development part, they should be well versed with the communication and all. So these are the small gaps what I generally see. But academically, they are very good, because the curriculum and all, the institutions are doing some great job. Because I have been in touch, and I have been institutional tie-ups for the various companies in granules and all, where Vishnu College, Geetam, NIT Warangal, NIT Suratkal, Manipal, almost all campuses I have visited. So this is the small gap what I have seen till now.
Yes, sir. Thank you for highlighting the important gaps. Would anyone love to share their perspectives?
Yeah, I would really agree with Sir. So I think the reason behind is most of the time what happens when a student is, they themselves know, or he or she, that I am not very good in English, so they become very shy, intimidated to go and speak out. So I would really request all the students that build up the confidence in you along with the language. And if you are very content heavy and content go ahead and speak maybe once, twice, three times, 10 times. Maybe, you would come back not very happy or satisfied, but I am sure the 11th time you would come out in flying colors, you would gain that confidence. And unless you are thrown on the stage, you cannot act. You have to be in front of that huge audience, and here it is the corporate and the whole entire world. So if you feel that you have not done well, don't bother. They are there to assess your skill, and sir said that they are very rich in skill sets. That is very important. Suppose an engineering student, a software engineering student, you would be expected to know better coding and a very better I think Mr. Vinod said that AI and ML, then the choice of words and language. Go ahead, just go ahead and speak. I'm encouraging each and every student here. Don't feel shy, don't feel bad. As I said earlier, there are many countries who don't bother to learn English and speak English, so go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that is very good note, and motivational words what ma'am has shared. Definitely, all students are bright. It is up to them how they come up in their lives. So, based on their technical and behavioral and attitude part, if they concentrate on that, they will become some good leaders. So, it is how we groom the leaders, and the corporate does that. I mean, not to tell on a higher way, but we generally tune our own fresh grads to the next level of leaders. And there are many cases I have seen where they have grown to AGMs and DGM, Deputy General Manager and General Manager positions. So they have grew to that position.
I guess many young engineering students can really motivate with the words that you have told. And now, Ms. Garima, what role do soft skills like communication, empathy, and leadership play in career success?
Yes. So soft skills, empathy, and leadership play a very important role. Let's say you have the hard skills, which you are getting used to in your college degrees. Okay. Now, how to present that? Let's say I have all the coding skills and all. Now, soft skills are communication skills. Now, how to present so that a non-techie can understand, so that a manager can understand. Okay. So there, where your communication comes. What you said is empathy. Now, empathy is what which will help you people's perspective, okay, from what perspective the other person is coming, and you can collaborate with your team members. Okay, and third, leadership. Now, leadership is something which will help you to lead. Now, here leadership doesn't mean that you have to be in a leadership position. You can actually practice leadership right from your college days. Like leadership is all about initiative and solving the real problems. Okay, what corporate is looking, that are you able to solve the real problems? They are not looking only for coders, they are looking somebody who can solve the real problems. Like for example, if you just carry a, or let's say lead a hackathon or lead a fest in your college, so that will show you, that will actually enhance your leadership capability in terms of budgeting, in terms of project management, and it will also enhance your communication, because you have to communicate with different kind of people in your team. And it will also give you empathy, because you will understand the other people perspective, so it will help you in conflict resolution. So the corporate is looking for a complete package. Apart from your hard skills, okay, the technical skills, these skills like soft skills, they are life skills, because communication which you have to use day in out. Okay, and empathy is something which will help you to grow, and world is moving towards empathy based leadership. Okay, and leadership is something where you have to initiative, solve the real problem, and take accountability. Okay, take accountability and be happy when the team wins. Okay, and take the accountability of the, if the problem is not solved, and work upon it. So these are the three skills which the corporate is actually banking upon, and these are very important skills for you to help to stay in the job and grow. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. That's a very important point. Like accountability and leadership are indeed the heart of career growth. Would anyone else want to add and share your perspectives?
Yeah, certainly as Garima ma'am and Anindita shared before, that communication should, all the soft skills should start right from the college. Communication should be fortunately, it would have been nice. It is from school. It will develop grab the opportunities whenever they're there. Like I was one of you, Hasini, hosting sessions at Stanley. I'm from Stanley, so now I'm here. So yeah, like you, grabbing that opportunities, especially when events present, we would just go and take that stage and talk. It really needs not to be right, but just go and talk, because everyone will judge at some point of time, but you need to get out of that comfort space. So yes, yeah, that's it from my end.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your valuable perspectives, and thank you for mentioning that you're from Stanley alumni. So, my question to you is, what motivated you to choose higher education over immediate employment after your bachelor's?
Yeah, for me, higher education is always my motivation, and I chose it by passion. It's always been there ever since I was in school, because in India, from school to undergrad, we are in a certain way that after 12th it's the engineering, and then life goes on. But for me, I thought it's good when you go, across a new city or a new country. That gives a lot of new experiences, multicultural vibe, and especially when you're young, choosing to live in a different country, one of the best decisions we have to take. And one more thing, uh, when you go to a new country, uh, first of all, abroad education will add a lot to your professional career, in terms of your uh, skill or skill building, problem solving, or meeting new people. That everyone brings a fresh perspective. So I think that's the main motivation. And yes, even though I had employment back in when I was in undergrad, I took it. I attended all the placements because I wanted to prove it, and it's like a backup plan. But yes, abroad education is something I took it with passion.
Thank you for sharing that, ma'am. It's inspiring to hear how new experiences and multicultural environments shaped your journey. Would any of the other panelists also like to share their perspectives?
Yeah, definitely. I would like. I mean, the story is pretty much close to me personally. Yeah, when I was in my bachelor's, till start of my fourth year, I had no clue that I will be moving to US for higher studies and to settle down here. And from that pure vision standpoint, it was my dad's idea, like, because I have a combined family, and the statement was pretty clear, like, hey, you know what, like, all your brothers and cousins are doing well here, and we definitely need a bridge between existing generation and next generation. And you should be able, you should I was I'm one of the last in my family, last member in my family, and his statement was pretty clear, like, you should create that bridge and help out and uplift upcoming generation. So you know what, you should move to US and pursue your higher studies and settle down there. And after 13-14 years, I'm exactly at the right space. I've been helping my family members. My nephews are here in US, and now my extended family is here, and they are going through the similar path of education, securing a job, and everything. And and one of the previous question about getting out of the comfort zone, and though if somebody is not proficient in English, I would definitely suggest them to step up and be outspoken and take up your challenge, because I was one of that student, because till plus two, I was in my local medium, and I had very hard journey transitioning from my local medium to English. So I had to rely on my friends, where they used to translate in my local language. I used to learn that as a subject, and I used to put that on a paper as part of my semester exams. So it was that kind of a hard journey, and uh, only realizing it by myself, like, hey, you know what, if I'm not gonna be, out of this show, nobody is going to help out. So at the end of the day, skill set does matter, but if you are not willing to take it to the next step by reaching out people, and be outspoken, and leaving the hesitation aside, eventually, you will feel that you are strong in it, and you will do pretty good in that area as well. So yeah, I think most of the questions are very relevant to what I have gone through in my career itself.
Thank you, Mr. Vinod, for that candid reflection. It's truly motivating for students to hear that without a clear path in the fourth year, one can still grow to become a master software engineering. So now moving on, Dr. Aditi, what do you believe universities can do better to prepare students for AI-driven careers?
Uh, I think one major gap which universities could fill in is trying to build up a connection with industry, as in trying to make sure like there are credit-based internship. Right now, internships are there, but it has to be credit-based so that students are motivated. And with that, there would be an opportunity to know like what are the skills. As all the esteemed members have mentioned, that soft skills are really important. So if there is something like co-op programs, if there are these internships for which students can get credits, that there they could balance those technical skills, and they will get opportunity to gain what a soft skill would look like. It's not just like interacting with their peers, but when they get to know with the team, how do they interact on a day-to-day basis. That's something which universities should focus around. It's not just about like, hey, this is the lab where you can gain knowledge. It's more out of the lab. It's mostly around pushing those students, because if there is such an opportunity, then all the students would love to get something, and that's something which universities have to take care. Not It's not the student responsibility. Maybe the career fairs which happen at the very end of the semester, they should not be around those. It should be somewhere starting from the second year of engineering, because that's a time where they have a little bit more data structures idea. They have a little bit of touch-based algorithms. So those are some basic things which they can apply in the courses as well. And I think Stanley College is doing an incredible job in organizing this event. I would say that uh, events like this actually make students interact with the panelists, with the industry leaders, with other experts. So along with this, arranging hackathons so that the 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 judges could be a panelist like this, and that's where students could interact with the the panelists directly, trying to see like what are how the technical skills they are developing. So I think these are some important things. These hands-on sessions are the most important thing, which I feel should be there in the curriculum as well.
Thank you, ma'am, for highlighting such an important point, the need for credit-based internships and the balance between technical and soft skills. That's indeed a very practical approach for preparing students. Would any of the other panelists like to share their thoughts?
I think yes, Dr. Aditi has covered, the major part of it. So basically, what we are talking here and should be is a wholesome grooming up of a student. And the onus lies a lot on the colleges. And like she very rightly said, these type of sessions. Not only that, someone when the last year of student when they're about to get placements and go to a career. So it has to be a very field experience as well, which the colleges should give in tie-up with corporates or startups. It all depends, on the you have to carve out and curate a proper strategy around it, so that they get what is going around in the world. What is, you should not be redundant when you go and step into that world. Suppose GCC, now I think two of us are from that field. So what is GCC? Why this influx of GCC is happening? Why every sector is setting up their capability center of excellence? What is center of excellence? In fact, many universities are creating it. So what can it give you after? Where can it take you after 5 years? So it's all about wholesome 360-degree development.
I'd also like to add to that. It's not just the responsibility of the university, but it's also the corporate responsibility to co-host with the universities, because end of the day, whatever the skills are, are useful for the corporates. So it's their responsibility to students ready for themselves. So I think right now there are a couple of, events that's happening. It could be free, or a few things, few events could be free to encourage students, because not everyone will be ready to pay. But like IS, and even there is T-Hub in Hyderabad that organize such events. So it's the responsibility of both the corporates and universities. Yeah.
To add to it quickly in 1 or 2 lines, very well, very valid point, Sahiti. I would say, and I'm this especially I'm telling to all the students, it is your responsibility as well to push the college, or you need to go and register, go to the internet and see what are the conferences happening. Go and register, even if you have to pay, because see, honestly speaking, it is that's an ideal situation where corporate also should be responsible, but ultimately all corporates are focused in that in their top line and bottom line. Okay, so unless you're an employee, they spend a bit of their budget onto training and development. So as students, you have to be proactive. Go and attend conferences, whatever you want, where your interest area lies. The more exposure you get, the more you are a developed professional.
Thank you, ma'am.
The need is at their end. The need is at their end. So you need to be proactive. You need to see the forums like T-Hub and various other forums are there. You can register for various conferences like pharma exhibitions, the IT exhibitions are happening. So you should go there and enroll and see what is happening on the current front, what I suggest. And you should update yourself. That is important, because and you are all very now these days all the generation is very fast. You are already on all the recent updates on WhatsApp and all is there. So you are all already tech savvy. You are already very sound on that. Just a push on right path is important. You are all on the different pathways, but right path of your technical career mapping or career planning is required. Otherwise, the other areas you are very good. The social media and all, you are very good. The only thing is proper channeling in making them move in the proper area is very important. Yes.
Would anyone else want to share their thoughts?
I think we have covered, and very rightly said how you, in this tech, completely super tech world, as software upgradation happens. So very rightly said, you need to upgrade yourselves. Absolutely, and also leverage the technology we are having. Suppose sir mentioned social media. Social media is not about just posting a selfie. You can leverage it. So whatever medium tool you have, leverage it.
Yeah, and it's all about solving the real problems, right? Not just learning the technology, what the real problems. Let's say if you build a tool that can really save some 4 hours of doing the same work, okay? So that is where you have increased the productivity, okay? So it's all about solving the real problems, because corporate looks about outcome. They look about revenue, okay? It's not about the process. It's what you deliver in the last.
Yes, so as we are talking about problem solving, may I now have Mr. Vinod? How important are problem solving and logical thinking beyond coding languages?
It is, I would definitely say it is one of the good question of the entire session here. So while you are working in a big team and anything what you do could impact your entire team or let's say the entire program on a positive note or negative note. So you need to be very cautious, but at the same time, think through on how exactly it is going to create an impact across the platform. Because when you are working on certain things as a regular programmer or something like that, you would always look at, okay, what is our task and what is the expected result and something like that. But usually someone at a managerial level or business steward or product owner, these kind of people are the ones who usually look at ROI, like return on investment. Like if I'm spending these many hours on a particular task, how exactly the outcome is going to help our program or help our entire business, right? So being a programmer, if you can, being a programmer or a developer or software engineer with any other technology, if you can think a little bit more like, being in their shoe and trying to understand how exactly your work is going to impact the organization, obviously it is going to create entirely different drive on your self satisfaction with yes, I'm actually adding a value and this is the actual outcome. And always look at I personally do not believe in doing multitasking on more things. Obviously, if you are working in software engineering, it is not that easy to concentrate on just one thing and completing that and moving on to something else. But try to keep that limited to a minimal number, so the focus is going to be high, and the possibility of completing things are going to be much better to start with. And at last, always upskill on what or the technologies that you are working on. So at a point we believe that, like, hey, you know what, I'm pretty much aware of what I'm doing and I'm aware of the technology. I'm a master in it and I don't need anything else. But that is absolutely a false statement, because irrespective of where you are at in the chain, there is always room to learn more and be open about it, and think through what more you could do and what more you could achieve. Then there is a ton of material out there based on your interest, so you can go and uplift your skill set and use it in your work environment, so you can do much better in your hierarchy and move on to much better career as well.
That's a very practical perspective, showing how problem solving isn't just about coding, but also about delivering real value, something where every aspiring engineer should keep in mind. I would love to open this up. What do other panelists think about this?
Well, I have a
For
very
me,
short statement about problem solving and logical thinking, and that is like these tools and technologies will change every few years. And as we are talking over the past 2, 3 years or 5 years, every few days there's something new to learn. But what keeps grounded is the ability to think how to solve a problem, how to think critically, how to design the solution step by step. That can only be gained through problem solving and logical thinking, because you will need every single time to learn new technology, but this is something which you have to build from scratch. That's all.
yeah,
Yes,
I would also like to add to that, as Aditi rightly said, it's the problem solving is a broader, broader topic. Coding languages is just a medium to solve the problems, but there is beyond something, the logical skills and how you critically apply. because problem solving is not just about software, but it could be anything. A small issue in an organization or preparing a dashboard, if you're into data, but it's more about how you think for given a problem. It's not about how you apply an AI technology. Sometimes the smallest solutions, like the smallest technology, can solve a big problem. So you should be able to know what to apply at the right time. Yeah.
I think it's the broad outlook should be now we are speaking more on AI, on software technologies and all, but not all go into those fields like technical fields. So it's all about the ethos should be to learn and unlearn, learn and unlearn, and learn and unlearn. If you don't keep your mind open to learn new things and don't feel shy to learn new things from new people, then I think you are falling back in the journey. I won't call it race really. In the journey, like for me, I would say I always worked in the infrastructure sector. I worked in aviation, then for many years, and then and this I'm only telling to the students just as an example. Then suddenly I got an opportunity to work in transportation. I just jumped into it. From there, GCC. When I landed in the GCC space, I felt that I am in the kindergarten because I am a completely non-techie and I don't understand anything. All were speaking, spoken in acronyms and abbreviations, and I was a person wherein even what in the WhatsApp I used to ask my sons, okay, these three letters mean as a whole sentence, because I was so bad. But then I jumped into it. I knew that I have to survive, and if I have to survive, I have to go with the trend, and I have to learn technology as much as I can, my ability or my subject base. So of course, I would say there is no doubt about the fact that whichever field you all go to or anyone is, you have to learn AI oriented work and the soft skills and technology based learning. So I think there cannot be any doubt about it.
What I just want to add here is, for the student fraternity, with experience, we all are aware how we jump into the new roles and all, and go for the technologies, learn on that. So this is through experience we will get it. But for the fresh graduates, that logical bent of mind, a logical understanding of the concepts and all is very important. Not all students will be aware of that, because few will be slightly average and all, and so many engineering institutions are there. How only few will come out as a good developers? So the others also should follow that by only having a good mindset of technical know-hows, and through hard work, and convert that hard work and your knowledge into logical sense of logical sense that I think will lead you to a good developer or a good scientist, or that. Because through experience we are all aware now. If we given any new area of work, we'll do in HR or business also we can do, because we know the management concepts. But for a freshers people, yes, learning is always there for all of us. Learn, unlearn, and relearn. The concept is always there for all of us. But hone your skills. These freshers has to develop their skills on all the areas through technical knowledge as well as through internet. There's a lot of information is available on internet. Go for that, read on that, and you can become a developer, because there are many people who are doing some UX and UI jobs. So you can do it, what I want to suggest.
Yes, thank you everyone for sharing your strong and valuable perspectives. With that, we'll wrap our panel discussion, and to keep the energy going, we'll move into the rapid fire round. I request everyone to please keep your answers crisp and brief, as we have just 15 minutes to left for this segment. My first question is, in one sentence, how do you define the skills gap in your domain today? Anyone can answer this question.
I would say that in my skills, like people know the theory, but they don't know the protect, like how to apply it, how to apply the concepts. They're very good in actually knowing the theory, especially in HR, like where I'm working, or like I'm in the GCC concept. So see, it's always changing. It's a very dynamic environment. So ability to adapt, okay, and learn, unlearn, and then relearn. That is required, and you should be able to apply the concept, not just mugging the concept. Okay, so that is what I feel. Hello.
Anyone else want to add?
Yeah, I would like to add to what Garima ma'am said. That's right. We in India, it's a matter of fact that we go with the theory of textbooks, and when you come to corporates, you can't really apply them when you face the real problems. So yes, I think the universities or the colleges should make sure the assignments we do or the projects we do are more of should bring out the actual learning experience for you. Like I would like to share my experience here while I'm pursuing masters. I was involved in a project, and that is where I have to go to a real client and do a real-time project. That gives me a lot of exposure even before I jump into the actual corporate, that okay, this is how a work or a project will be. So I think this kind of culture can be even brought to Indian engineering colleges. That's what I think. This is a little, no, it's like a major gap that's there in our education. That's what sometimes abroad education gives you a lot of scope to learn it.
In
Yeah.
India, universities also, there's like IITs and the next level NITs and all. There are a lot of they go for various internships, and many institutions call from the corporate side. Many people they come and share their insights. So we have that concept, but not on a broader scale.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for sharing your perspectives. Moving on to the next question. What is the single most critical technical competency missing in fresh graduates?
Technical competence.
It depends which field are we talking about. Each has their own challenges.
Yes. Every this vast field of technical thing,
Absolutely.
AI,
Absolutely.
ML, and then now various UX, UI, digital
Yeah.
platforms. So in that,
Yeah,
which
cloud
technical
cloud
competence?
technology.
It's a very broad question.
It's a very broad question. Yeah.
Uh,
And
So
I think more of field study while you're studying, while you're in your academics, that would help you to overcome all challenges, I think.
I think whichever field you are, just first be strong with the foundations. That will get through wherever you want to go in your career.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't
Foundations
know.
should be strong. Frameworks can be keep changing. Yeah.
Ra- That's rightly said. Yeah.
I don't know whether I can call it as a technical skill set gap or anything, but there are like I would say like at least 40 to 50% of the people who are about to graduate, but they do not know much about how to use a laptop effectively. What are the platforms that are available for them to learn whatever they want to. So again, like this is not a technical skill set proficiency gap or anything, but even they do not have that kind of an insight, and getting that kind of an information in hand, and getting access to all the medium that is there for them to learn something new is something that needs to be fixed. So students will get a much better info on what all are the things that are available if they want to learn something else. And I mean, nowadays the way things are going on, like you can be anywhere in the world, and you just need to know how to use a laptop and what all are the platforms that are available if you want to learn something, and should be able to comfortably browse and explore and find what exactly you are looking for. And I'm just trying to bring this up as a gap, because a lot of students does not have this with them, and I just feel like that could be one of the reasons why lot of uh, uh, coastal students or back-ended students, they don't end up getting the good jobs because they do not have all these facilities and does not have much exposure on what is available out there. So yeah, again, not a technical skill set gap or anything, but getting hold of these things could really help them to secure much better job and learn something better and new.
Thank you, sir, for putting up your points. I would love to keep this question open for all. What is one change you hope to see in the tech industry in the next 5 to 10 years, especially for young professionals?
uh, Tech industry. So definitely, I would like to see that what Sahiti was saying, that it should be from the corporates, that they should actually give lot of free courses, or let's say to help the students to solve the real problems. Right now, Google, Microsoft, all they have launched a lot of free courses. Okay, because we have noticed that we learn the concepts, our students learn the concepts, but they are not able to solve the real problems. Some case studies, some lot of courses have come, many companies have taken the initiative, but more mid-sized companies can take that initiative, what I felt.
Yeah,
What I
it
feel.
depends a lot on the budget also. I fully agree. I mean, see, that's what I said, uh, uh, let us be very brutally honest that more than corporates would invest more on the employees who they have instead of students. So again, the onus lies on the student more than the college or the corporates, because everyone, they have their limited, capacity. Uh, this is something nothing to do with tech, but for the students, I would really, I'm not sure how many students are there in this video, but I mean, in this webinar, but one message I would really want to give you all is to all the students, please develop the power, yourself through networking, productive networking. And because nowadays I see youngsters, they are too much glued into their gadget, and at home they don't go out. I think we never had that luxury in our times. Maybe that's why we are so if not extrovert, but then we can challenge or face the outside world better. Get connected, children, get connected to people. You never know what learnings come out of it. Knowledge sharing, knowledge gaining, getting insights, getting, maybe you get a job opportunity through your networking. Write, and please start the ability of writing. I am going back to my favorite subject, communication. Unless you speak, unless you write, you will not develop your communication. Two more things very quickly with the networking is, be patient, which somehow lacks in this generation. It's a very fast paced world. And listening power. Don't react, but respond. I have a millennial and Gen Z at home. I see that they always react instead of responding. So respond instead of react. Have patience. You definitely can learn from everywhere around. You don't have to go to institution to learn the soft skills or the behavioral traits. That anyway, which was a technical thing you're learning, but keep your mind open. And unless you are productively networked, maybe speak in your own language, boss, बहुत difficult है आगे बढ़ना. Do that.
Anyone else to add? All right. That brings us to the conclusion of our session today. I would like to sincerely thank all of our esteemed panelists for sharing their valuable insights, experiences, and advice with us. Each of your perspectives has not only inspired us, but also guided us toward understanding the skills, mindsets, and confidence needed to thrive in today's fast changing world of technology. A special thanks to our audience for being so attentive. With that, on behalf of Stanley College of Engineering and Technology, ACMW, I extend my gratitude once again to all the panelists and participants. Thank you, everyone, for joining
Thank you.
in today.
Thank you.
Thank you,
to all
Vasani.
the
Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much. All of you.
Yeah, it
Lot,
was a
I
good
have
discussion.
I have learned a lot from all of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Good insight sharing for all of us.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. You may leave the call now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.